Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a while but I'm back again, and in today's tutorial I'll be showing you guys how I made this flex skirt to side pockets. So if you're a beginner and you've always wondered how flex skirts are made, you're at the right place. So before we get into the video, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and without further ado, let's jump right into this tutorial. So I have 2.5 yards of this floral crepe fabric, and it all depends on how long you want the skirt to be, whether it's short or long. So I want to make like a midi length skirt. It's not too short, not too long. So I think 2 yards, 2.5 yards will be enough for me. And it all depends on the length you want to achieve. So if it's shorter, you would need lesser fabric. If it's longer, you need probably up to 3.5 or 4 yards. So to cut your skirt on a half circle, you need to make some calculations. So my waist circumference is 32 inches. Okay, now I would need a side seam allowance to join the front and back together. So for the front, 1 inch on one side, 1 inch on one side, that's 2. And then for the back, 1 inch on one side, 1 inch on the other side, that's also 2. So this will give me a total of 36 inches. Now we are cutting this skirt in a half circle. It's not a full circle skirt. So we need to divide this 36 by 3.142. So this is the formula to cut out your skirt on a half circle. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. 36 divided by 3.142. So I have approximately 11.5. So mine is I have approximately 11.5. So what I have here is 11.45. So I'm going to round that up. That will give me a total of 11.5 inches. So I'm going to fold my skirt in the form of a triangle, and then use this to cut out the upper part of my skirt, and then cut out the front, use the front to cut out the back, and then on the back I'm going to add the zipper allowance for the zip. So let's go ahead and do that. So like I mentioned earlier, this is 2.5 yards. So to cut out your skirts, you're going to pick one edge of the fabric. So this is where we have like the full length of the fabric. So we know the full length of crepe is usually by 60, and this is the area where I have the 2.5 inches measurements. Okay, so now this side where we have the 60 inches for the total length of the crepe fabric, we're going to fold it like this. So take from here, fold it like this. So you're going to fold it in form of a triangle. So I've been able to fold my fabric like I explained. I folded this part over the other side to give me a triangle, as you can see. Now to take the circumference of my waist, remember that what I had when I made that calculation was 11.5. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to mark 11.5. So I'm going to do this on this side as well. Then I'm going to connect the points together. Now to get the length of the skirt that I want, I'm going to be attaching a waistband of 1.5 inches to the skirt. So I'm going to place this 1.5 inches right here, and then try to get the length of my skirt on this side first. So I want the length of my skirt to be around 31 inches. So I'm going to do this all around till I get the total length of my skirt. So like this to this point, from here to here, I have 29.5. So I'm going to just use like this and measure. If you can do this on the floor, it will be better to save you the stress of what I'm going through right now. So I've marked my skirt length. So I'm just going to connect the points together like this. So now when cutting out the waist circumference area of your skirt, make sure to add 1/2 inch allowance around this point for joining, because if you go ahead and cut like this, you might end up having excess fabric when you want to attach the skirt area to the waistband. So I'll go ahead and cut out the length of my skirt. So I'm going to place a notch right here at the center point. So this is the front part of the skirt. So I'm going to fold the rest of my fabric into the shape of a triangle again in order to cut the back. So I've gone ahead to fold the fabric in a triangle for the back. Now I'm going to place the front on the back like this. So when placing yours, make sure that you give allowance for your zipper here. So my zipper allowance is going to be 1 inch. So place it like this. So this is the zipper allowance here. So I'm going to pin this point together. After making sure everything matches up and with the zipper allowance here, you're just going to cut this part like this. I'm going to split open the back. Okay, so we have both the front and then the two pieces for the back here. And this is the amount of fabric that I have left. So it turns out the 2.5 yards was even too much. 2 yards would have done the work for me. So this is what I have left for my fabric. I'll be cutting out the pockets and also waistband for the skirt. So I'm just trying to see where I have more loose fabric so I can cut. Okay, so I can work with this. I'm going to fold it again into 4 like this. Then I'm going to measure my pocket. So I'm going to make it probably around 8.5 inches. Then I'm going to create the shape. So your pocket can be as deep as you want it to be, but I want mine to be like this. I'm just going to open it a bit so I can split it into, and I'm going to fold it like this. I have my 4 pieces of fabric for my pocket here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to notch this point so that I'll know where is the upper part and where the lower part is. So this is the upper part of the pocket and this will be the lower part of the pocket. So that's it for the pocket. So to cut out the waistband, I'm going to be using my pattern paper, but you can choose to cut yours directly on your fabric, but this fabric stretches a bit and I'm going to be ironing interfacing on it to stabilize it. So I'm going to first of all draft my waistband on my pattern paper first. So my waist measurement is 32 inches. Now 32 divided by 4 is 8 inches, and then 1 inch for the side seam allowance. That's 9. Then the length of my, or the width of my waistband is 1.5 inches. So this will be for the front because this is just my waist circumference divided by 4 plus 1 inch for my side seam allowance. Now for the back, if you want to cut your back waistband, you're just going to add extra 1 inch to this for the zipper allowance area. So you can choose it to be around this point or this point. It all depends on what you want. So I'm just directly going to add ½ inch joining allowance to the lower part, just ½ inch, because the upper part is going to be cut on a fold. It's going to be cut on a fold. So in total, I'll probably have 2 inches for the waistband. So like I mentioned, this is for the front. For the back, the difference is just 1 inch. So for the back, I'm just going to place it like this, then add the 1 inch that I mentioned. So like I said, you can either add it here or here, because if I did not add the 1 inch here and I place it here, this is how I'll cut it. But if I move the center front to this point here and add 1 inch here, it will still work. So either like this or like this, it will still work. 2 inches in total. So this is for the back waistband, my 1 inch zip allowance, then there's the 1 inch side seam allowance here. Okay, so for the front, we're going to be splitting it into two. So we have the waistband for the back, the waistband for the front. I'm just going to place a notch at the lower part. Yes, at the lower part, because like I mentioned, we're cutting it on a fold. So if we're cutting this on a fold, it means that I'll be placing, sorry, I'll be placing my fabric like this. I'll be placing it like this. So there's no joining here. And then I'm going to place it like this. I'm going to cut out to the front like this. Remember, I've already added my half-inch allowance for this for joining the waistband to the skirt. For the back, that's also the same thing. You're going to place your waistband like this. There's already zipper allowance here, so make sure that you cut it without any opening here. Or if you want to open yours and add allowance and join it, that's fine. And I'll cut it. So I'll go ahead and cut out my waistband, and I'll proceed to joining the pieces together. I've gone ahead to cut out the waistband like I mentioned, so the front and the back. So the next thing is to sew your waistband to this area of the skirt. So I'm going to be sewing the waistband of the back first. So if you have any excess, you can pleat it into your waistband. Okay, so I'm done attaching the waistband. Now for the pockets, I'm going to come down a little bit from my waistband. So from this part where I have the joining, I'm going to measure 3 inches like this. So I'm going to place a notch right there. These are the pockets. This is the front part of the skirt. So I have notched 3 inches below my waistband. So this is one of my pockets. Let me move this aside. This is one of my pockets. So remember, I notched the upper part of the pocket so I can easily tell where it is. I'm just trying to check that out here. So here it is. So you're going to place the pocket right side to right side like this, and then going to sew straight all the way to this point where the pocket ends. So I'll repeat the same thing for all of them. I'm going to focus on the back now because I want to sew my zipper. So I'm going to place the two back. This is the front. So I'm going to place the two back pieces like this. This is my zipper. So I'm going to place the zipper here. So the zipper ends around this point. So I'll go up a bit right here and sew by 1 inch till I get to the end. So the zipper I'm using, I think it's around 7.5 inches long. The short zipper. I'll go ahead and attach my zipper. Remember the allowance is 1 inch. So the next thing is to join the side seams together. Remember that the side seam allowance is 1 inch. So place the front and back right side to right side. So starting from the waistline, I'm going to start sewing by 1 inch. Then I come here. Then I'm going to sew by ½ inch over the pocket. And then continue sewing by 1 inch all the way down. Okay, so I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. Okay guys, so the skirt is practically ready. So all that is left is to overlock the raw edges, overlock the hem and fold. Yeah, because that's the best option. You can't double fold the hem twice easily. It won't be that easy. Even if you tried, you're going to face some challenges. Or you can, if you have the patience, but I don't have the patience, so I'll overlock it and fold, or I'll just do that tiny weaving so that it comes out looking very well. So basically, that's all about the sewing process. So this is the final outcome of the skirt. If you've enjoyed this video, if you've learned anything, please don't forget to hit the like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and also share the video too so others can also learn from it. So if there's anything you'd like me to make a tutorial on, please feel free to leave it down in the comment section. I'll take my time to go through it, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.